Full of stuff over here that came out of that building that I don't want to put back in there. Although some of it might be usable stuff. But I still don't want to put it back in there. I want to put this back in there, and I want to put that back in there, and all those propane tanks I ought to be able to find a better place for, and all that stuff over there. I'd like to get rid of it, but I can't because it's not mine. And then there's all this. Well, what needs to happen is everything on this trailer needs to come off and become one with what's already in there. And then all this wood needs to go on this trailer. And then this trailer needs to go somewhere. All this stuff. But what I have accomplished is a building that's clean and has air conditioning working. And yeah, I could work from here. The only problem is I'm tired. I am so tired. Now, it's probably because my wife isn't here. She's been on a trip, and I've been alone for 4 or 5 days, and I've been working night and day, all hours of the night and day on this. And I am so tired, all I want to do is lay down and rest, which is okay, but it's not inspired me to want to do a lot more work, and I got a lot more work to do as far as reorganizing all this stuff. So anyway, I was talking about a mechanic that used to work for UPS, and I wasn't thinking of his name, but his name was Herman. And Herman, although he was a mechanic, would tell me things like about women, like I was a young guy, he was an older guy, and he'd tell me stuff about women, the kind of information that, well, guys kind of need to know, but you don't want to talk about it. You don't want anybody else to know you've been talking about it. Does that make any sense? And he's the guy that had the Sunbeam, I think it was a Spitfire. I think they had a Sunbeam Spitfire and a Sunbeam Alpine. And I think the Spitfire was the one with the 289 in it, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I got right to the end of the video, I think, earlier, and then the battery ran dead, and I left that out. But anyway, I may be about to leave everything right where it sits and go and take a nap, because sometimes the only cure for me is to go take a nap and then come back later and start all over. So that may be what I'm about to do. But here we are. This wall is insulated and papered, and this part of the ceiling is insulated, and this part is insulated. And I've ordered an exhaust fan. Now I've got a big fan over in here somewhere, but I've ordered an exhaust fan. It would sit up there and pull the air out. It is my feeling that the hottest air is up there. So if I pulled out the hottest air and kept the coolest air that the air conditioners are making down here, that could be a good thing. Also, if I had more insulation, it would be good. But I have more insulation than I had. Now see, all this needs to be somewhere else because I want to get rid of all this stuff. But I want to keep all this stuff, so I got to figure out a way how to get rid of it, but still keep it, if that makes any sense. I think I'm talking too much. I think I've become delirious. So that tire has been under this truck since 89, 99. That'd be 35 years, and it doesn't have all the original air still in it. That's very disappointing. You would think that tire hadn't bothered a thing. It's just been sitting there. You would think it would be completely full of the original air, but it looks like it's not. I think somebody stole some of the original air that was in that. All right, let's go take a nap. That's the only sensible thing that I can think of that I can do. And then at some point we're going to come back to this. So yeah, I'm not even going to get into, but all these pieces are going to miraculously find their way into that, but it's not going to happen until I rest and take a nap. And then whatever happens can happen. That's just how I am. That's how I roll. That's how my world is today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I look forward to showing you all the progress I've made later when I've made progress. We got a car show coming up this weekend, and it's supposed to rain. I don't know if it's going to rain or not, because it's been saying it's supposed to rain every day for the last week, and it probably kind of has, but most of the time when it's raining, it's like for 20 minutes before I go to bed or something like that. So really the bunch of rain that I thought we were going to get hadn't really been coming, and that's okay with me. And oh, my legs are sore. Oh, I'm so tired. Something about standing on a ladder and putting insulation up over your head. Come on, buddy, let's go in. I'm a tired old man. I need to find a place to lay down. See you later. That's it for me.